Okay, let's lie down. Oh, welcome to your body. Close your eyes. Celebrate yourself for just arriving on your mat. Holding onto your knees, just take a few breaths. Settling into yourself. Let yourself arrive here exactly as you are. I really do love the image or the expression that I think I first heard in a yoga class, which is you never step into the same river twice. And it's really, really, really applicable for the body. It's like same poses, same sequence, but it's different every time. And to be able to appreciate that and not try to make it be the same as it once was, and once could be as recent as yesterday. Hold the right shin in your hands and lift up the left leg to the sky and start to flex and point the foot. Align the foot with the ankle and the knee. And at first, your foot might just be this sort of cement-like blob. And then you may start to notice more details. Able to spread the toes more, see the bones more. Extend through the heel differently. Point gets a little more powerful as the muscles start to obey the mind. And you may notice a real shift in a command over the foot. At first, it might barely do what you ask, and then it may really start to listen. Hold a nice deep flexion. So you feel a stretch in the back of the calf, maybe in your hamstring too. And keeping that, circle the leg with the foot facing the sky. Try to keep the heel as high as the ball of the foot. Go the other direction. Notice if you're clenching in the shoulders, the fingers or elbows or neck got tight. And then send the leg, center it and send the leg slowly down. Take your time. When it finally drops, pause there and let the bones settle toward the floor. It feels like air leaving a tire as it just sort of, there's an ease to the lumbar, lower back. Pull your right knee in close without straining and circle that toward your chest. Massaging deep into the flexion of the hip flexor. And go the other direction. Keep your teeth, the back teeth apart. Let your jaw be soft. Maybe the tongue is lifted softly to the roof of the mouth. Hold the front of the right shin if you're not, and pull the leg toward the right in the direction of the armpit, shoulder. Smooth your left side down, giving it a little weight. And brushing with your hand any area that holds tension. And it may be the belly. You may want to do a little belly massage here. And as we're learning about more and more and more, the belly's connection to our nervous system, it directly talks to it, is part of it. It makes the neurotransmitters like serotonin, GABA, dopamine, contributes to that. All those catecholamines, those energizing neurotransmitters and hormones. So we massage it here and we reap the benefits. We hold a lot of worry in our stomachs in this area, we tend to. So you're just attending to it with your hand. Bring your knee into the midline, shift your hips over to the right, release your right arm in line with your right shoulder, and then let your right knee come across to the left side of your body. Turn your head to the right and stretch a nice gorgeous line between your left big toes and the crown of your head. There's a beautiful arc to your back here. It's a lovely C curve. Let your shoulders fall heavy. Breathe here. Just allow yourself to be in this shape, arcing shape. Slowly begin to move your right arm down the front of the body, turning the head to follow the arm. Over your head and out to the side, and repeat down across your body. Hand as soft as it touches the floor. Reach it overhead and all the way around, opening up your chest. You may notice when you get that arm back in line with the shoulder, that the shoulder just rests comfortably now. Maybe it did before, but perhaps it's a better fit. Notice your breathing. Does it feel a little bit stuck somewhere in this twist? So mine does. Mine really does. My whole left diaphragm after it. So I'm going to just notice and breathe in the area that feels less good. And can I imagine sending the area that feels good, the feeling from there, can I let that good feeling, the comfortable feeling, migrate into the discomfort? Reach through your right arm and begin to roll to the back. Drop both knees into your chest again. Just rest here, tuck your chin slightly in, close your eyes. Let your eyes sink toward the back of the face. And there's this soft compression here on the tummy, and just allow that. Just a gentle pressure in. And as you begin to allow the tummy to be compressed, kind of like a suitcase, you can pull your knees in a little bit closer. And a little bit closer. And if it were a suitcase, it would be like, oh my gosh, I'm going to be able to zip this thing up. I didn't think it would happen. It's kind of the metaphor. And the knees come in just a little bit closer. Or I guess it's more of an analogy. It's not a metaphor, it's an analogy. And then slide your hands over to the left shin. Casually recross the fingers the opposite way. Lift the right leg to the sky and start to point and flex your right foot. Align it with the ankle, knee, and hip. Give it time to convert, to transform from a lump to something really beautiful and magnificent. Hold a nice deep stretch here, the dorsiflexion, the toes extending toward your face, the heel reaching toward the ceiling. See if you can feel this in the leg, in the stretch in the calf, maybe in the hamstring. Let your shoulders drop back. And then begin to circle, keeping the foot facing the sky. Kind of like you're skywriting. Imagine that your foot is making like a smoke ring and go the other way. When I was little, when people would blow smoke rings, I thought it was the coolest thing. Smoke rings and skipping stones on water. I just was like, you're amazing. Someone could win me over really easily with those just two tricks. And then hold the leg in the center and send the leg slowly down. Let the bones fall into the ground. A natural slope in the lower back. Gently pulling the left knee closer to the tummy. Start to circle that knee. Our large intestine, our colon, is really low. Like it's a lower in the body. It's like here, like we're pressing on it now with the leg. I have these bands, they're blood compression bands. So they cut off your circulation and they're called katsu. They're amazing. But they wrap around your upper thigh. And every time I use them, I'm like, they affect my colon. Like I go to the bathroom right after and I'm like, wow, I forget how low the colon, like how this area is really large intestine. And then hold the front of the shin and gently pull the knee in the direction on that diagonal toward the armpit. With your right hand, soothe and smooth any area that you feel needs it. Adding a little bit of weight to that right side, a little awareness to stay balanced here. Maybe massaging again into the tummy. It's a huge sense organ. We don't think of it as one. Like we think of our nose and our eyes and our ears, but our stomach is a sensing organ. It is a sense organ, like an eyeball, like a nose. Those aren't organs, but it functions as a sensory system. That blows my mind. It really is a sixth sense, not in a like psychic way, just it is the sixth sense that we didn't count. And then bring the knee into the midline, reach your left arm open, shift your hips a little to the left, and twist. Extend through the big toe, all the way through the head. Keep your shoulders weighty, head turns to the left. We had a big storm here, and the storm shook loose a bunch of mulberries, and they're all over the ground. And I'm reminded how much the body is like a mulberry. It's my favorite analogy. And a mulberry grows in a 360, so it grows in the round. And when I'm in twist, I'm reminded like to breathe into the entire circumference of the diaphragm. Think of it in the round. And then start to circle the arm. Hand comes down, head is gonna fall. It kind of has a lazy river feel to it. Hand is resting on the floor. Or traipsing along the body as it goes. So give it one more. Want to make it as heavy as it can be. It's a languid sort of circle. And when you get all the way over to the left, Let it stay there in line with your shoulder. Appreciate the shoulder's alignment at the moment, whatever it is. And scan for any constrictions. And allow the area nearby, there is one that feels more open. Invite the feeling of openness into the constricted area. As though your body could learn from itself here. And then reach through that left arm. Slowly make your way onto the back. Reach for your feet or ankles, whichever is just feeling more comfortable for your body. One landmark I'd like you to be aware of is that your lower back and tailbone rest on the floor for happy baby. Feet are flexed up toward the sky. Knees are bent though. Knees are wide apart about, they're definitely wider than the shoulders. It's kind of like a crow pose. And rock here, side to side. And straighten the leg. One at a time. Or both. Really nice. Bring your knees into the arms. Press your hands into a prayer, like squat, but here on your back. Push the knees into the elbows and the elbows out into the knees and pull the belly in the direction of the floor. And then separate your palms, push them toward the ceiling, and move your knees closer toward your shoulders. Suck your belly in and push up here like you're doing crow. And then relax and do about 5 back crows here. So pushing up toward the ceiling like it were as if you were pushing into the floor. And you can lift your head and shoulders if you want. And come back down. And do 4 more at your own pace. And really see if you can use your belly. Pull your belly down into your spine. Relax. Bring the knees together. Scoot your hips a little to the right. Keep your knees together. Or if you want to, grab your block and it'll just make it softer on the back. Put it between the knees or thighs. And knees fall toward the right. No, I didn't mean the right, sorry, left. Knees fall toward the left. And as they do, take your hands to the right and press your palms in the direction of the wall on your right. My left hand is more toward the ceiling and my right hand is toward the wall. And push. And this is this tiny little contraction. Knees coming in, hands going out. So it's 5, just little pulses. 4. Good, you guys. 3, 2, and 1. Bring the knees to the center. Shift your butt over to the left. Knees fall in the direction of the right. They're not going all the way down. Mine are nowhere near the ground. They're just turned to the right. And my hands go to the left. And I press. Knees come in, hands pulse out. 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Let's let those knees, shift your hips, make sure they're really in line, like a little more to the left. Let your knees come down more to the right. Not too far, like as far as they can go with the shoulders staying on the floor. Maybe it's pretty far. Yeah. And then take your hands behind your head and pull straight up. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Squeeze your tummy, bring your knees up. Shift your hips to the right. that your knees fall toward the left. Keep your shoulders on the floor as a reference. And then as far as they can go with the shoulders down, then pulse up. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Knees come to the center. Pulse here. 10. Elbows in, chin tucked. 9, 8, 7. I'm really squeezing the heck out of the block. It feels really good. 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. I felt good. Okay. Push your right elbow. Take the block out, I think. Okay. Push your right elbow into the floor. Oh, my right elbow is right by my right side. So push your right elbow down into the floor, right by your right side, kind of pinned in there. Left hand behind the head. And push down with that right elbow a lot. Yep. And then your left foot can be out and not on the floor. I'm gonna have my left foot down just to be safe for now. So with the knee bent, left foot down. And I'm bringing my right knee in toward my right shoulder as I push my right elbow into the floor. You could bring your left elbow across also. Oh, and then stretch your right leg out and then bring it in. And so the right elbow into the floor is the key. That's really the focus. You're just pushing that fella down. 3. And a 2sies. And a 1. Yeah, it's so little and it's so juicy. Okay, hold the head with the left hand. No, right hand, sorry. Push the left elbow down into the floor a lot. So that's, again, the focal point. Left knee is up. Do what you will with your right leg. And then left knee comes in and out. You can add right elbow to the knee or not. That makes it harder. But the focus, the real cream is in that left elbow. Really pushing down into the ground. 5. And a 4. And a 3. And a juice. 1. It's harder for me to concentrate on that side. Weird. Okay, knees come to the right. And come up onto your right forearm. So right arm. And knees stay bent. We're going to lift here into like a side plank. Push down through your right, make a fist with your right hand and push down into that right elbow. Suck the front ribs in, squeeze the bums, the buttocks, and raise your waist up. And punch down through that forearm. Left arm can lift. We're going to sweep under the body and up with that left arm. Under so you can feel that right waistline. Cinching here. 3. Squeeze that butt. 2. Push down through your right wrist and fist. 1. Left arm up. Lower the hips. Knees swivel up and over to your left. Fist with the left hand down. Knees can stay bent. Lift the hips up. Tuck the tush. Close the ribs. Right arm up. Lift the left ribs away from the floor as you push down through your fist and forearm. So it's pretty, everything's tight. And then bring that right arm down and up. 5, 4, really concentrate on the hand on the floor. 2, lift it up, push down, and bring it down. Come toward the front of the mat and forearm plank. Interlace your hands, tuck your toes behind you. Elbows angled in somewhat, well, they're out, but narrow that a bit. And come, pedal, heels back, heels forward. Pull the tummy in, push down through the wrists and hands. 4, 3, 2, 1. Drop your heels to the right. You can bend your knees if straight legs hurt your knees. And then center, left, and center. Right, center, left, center. 5, and 4, and 3, and 2, and 1, and center. Right knee toward right arm, left knee toward left. Right knee, left knee, right knee, left knee, right knee, left knee, knees down, child's pose. Soak it up. Soak it up. Feeling the armpits melt, the ribs heavy. Maybe if it's configured as such, your belly is compressed here in a good way. Hold that belly in, leave everything else alone. And from the belly strength, you're going to roll slowly, contracting the belly as you come up to a seat. And then reach your arms forward. If you have a block, have it around. Tuck your toes, lengthen back to a down dog. Knees are soft as muted. Sits bones high. Ribs draw up and in, and the shoulders widen apart. So there's a spiral from the upper armpit down to the thumbs. Contraction from the pinky finger up into the torso. If this hurts an elbow point, back off on the spiral. And then walk on forward to the hands. Bend the knees, pull the heart forward, tailbone back. Exhale, tummy in. Push through the big toe ball round as you surrender the head. Inhale, rise, circle the chest. Up, arms up. Make a gorgeous back bend here, hips forward, head and arms. Like a crescent. Inhale, straight up. Interlace your fingers, steeple the index and crescent over to the right. Bending, reaching that steeple to the right. Send your left hip. Both hips relate to the left. Inhale up. Hips to the right, fingers to the left. Crescent moon. Inhale up. And again, head on back. Take your hands apart. Separate your feet. Hip was just wider than hip, sorry, much wider. Maybe even wider than your mat. And you're just gonna hip side to side. I heard this the other day. I think I heard it a lot in my life, but I never ever got it until the other day. Smile with your hips. So your smile, you're drawing a smile with your hips, smile, right? So if you, that's the top of the smile, then you go down. And that's the other end of the smile. So smile with your hips, side to side. You see it? You feel it? I never got it before. I was like, ah. Smile with your hips. And then take them all the way around in a circle. All the way around. Upper body nice and soft. Go the other way. Be generous with that butt. Really let that butt extend. Let the butt lead. Lead with the butt. Nice. Good. We're going to add the torso. Let your torso circle around. And other way. And back the first way, we're going to add the arms. Take the arms all the way up, around, down. One more time, same direction. And other way. And then you might be a little dizzy. Walk to the front of the mat when you're ready and just find yourself still and present. Feet are awake, sensing the floor, skin, another sense organ. Chest open, palms open. A vessel for this flow. Inhale the arms up. Exhale, folding over, bend the knees softly to support you. Head drops fully. Inhale, chest lifts up. We're going to step back with the left knee. Carefully lower it. If you have knee sensitivity, pat it. Do whatever you need to. We're going to be up on that knee. Square your hips toward the front of the mat for a moment. Tailbone down, ribs softly down, tummy in. Raise your arms. Right, so this might be what feels best for you. This is a very constructive place. It builds muscle. It helps support the spine. If you want more of a stretch, you can let the pelvis start to come forward. Tailbone leads this, and the calf and the right thigh perhaps touch. Interlace the fingers. Shimmy your arms so they line up farther back with your ears. Maybe let the head start to move back. Getting into that upper back. It's intense, yeah? Then separate the hands, bring them down. We're going to ease our way back into a mild hamstring stretch. So don't go too deep yet. Flex that right foot. Just give it a little visit sensation. Wrap the right hip down. Now micro bend, or let's go ahead and bend slightly with that right knee. And this is, go carefully here, but we're going to see if we can move a very stubborn part of the hamstring toward the top where it meets the sitting bone, the sits bone. We're going to see if we can move that right sits bone. Go ahead and touch it if you can balance. Put your finger on that right sits bone and go right below it and see if you can stretch that. Pulling your right sitting bone back will liberate your heart to move forward. So right now, all our back, well, Karen, actually not really, me and you, Taylor, our back is kind of rounded because we have it tight, like we're not quite open here. So we're gonna see if we can bend the knee more and pull the chest forward. Elena and Karen, you guys are pretty straight there. Yep. And then you can bring the right hand back down. You may actually now feel the hamstring muscle, whereas you might not have before. Now that's really good, really straight. Excellent, totally different. Put your right foot down and straighten your left leg. Turn your torso so that the trunk is really over that right thigh and let the head relax down. My left heel is up. You could put a block under the left hand and bring it close to the right foot. Reach the right arm behind you and then up to the ceiling. Keeping what happens here is that left hip collapses. Try not to do that. Keep it independently forward. Extend through the spine and turn and look up. Turn to your left, parallel your feet. I brought my block with me. It's just kind of nice right now. Inhale, pull your heart forward. Sitting bones back. My knees are bent slightly. So I have a nice long spine here. And then head's going to come down. So I'm taking it easy today. I just want to rest my head. So I turn the block up. And I'm letting my head clunk down on the block. Hands can neatly be arranged on either side. Elbows in line with the wrist. Tummy pulled in. This is much more restorative. You could do it without the block and just hang. This feels really right now. I'm electrifying the legs and getting that piezoelectricity going from the ground up into my body. How? By pushing through the feet. lifting my quadriceps and getting that hit, that drink for my ATP for my cells, cellular regeneration. Inhale, lift. I'm going to move my block out to the front, toward the front right side of the mat. Pivot my right foot to the right and line up my front heel with my back arch. Because I don't want to strain, I'm turning the block to the highest height. And with my left hand, I'm going to strum up my body into triangle pose. Now, this is a deep way to get in. You might be like, whoa, what's this? Because it really asks that back hip to rotate in a way that we normally can cheat. Push through the ball of the right foot, suck the ribs in, hips under, and unlike that side plank, let your rib cage become parallel to the floor. Take your top arm over the ear and look right into the biceps. Good. See if you can turn your left chest up a bit. Excellent. Look down, bring your left hand actually down and step forward. That might feel a bit odd. Just let it balance. Move the heart forward here, flat back. Exhale. Inhale, look up. And again, fold forward. Drop your head. Inhale, raise the head, step back with your right leg. Go ahead and pad that knee if you want. And come on up in this split lunge. Left foot is forward, right foot is back. Hips are square to the front of the mat. For now, tuck your tailbone under. So it's really square and holding your spine. Arms can go up. So this is stable and really healthy if you're overly flexible here and need some support or for whatever reason. Now we can take it into a deeper stretch, also really good, just a different thing. Letting the hips come forward, steeple the fingers, and go ahead, let that left knee come forward of the toes. Shimmy the shoulders to get the arms to go back more, opening up those lats, opening up the rhomboids a little. Well, actually, we're kind of engaging them. And then lift the chin. Crescent back here, if that feels right. So your back is the crescent. Beautiful. Can you do this and breathe? Right chest forward, a tiny bit of length. Yeah. Beautiful. Beautiful. Take your time. Separate the hands, come out slowly. We're going to pull back into a hamstring stretch carefully, beginning to straighten that left leg. You may want to be up higher. Blocks are not a bad idea. That foot is flexed. And I'm going to be generous with my, I don't know how to say it. I'm not bending the knee, but I'm bending it enough that I can move that stuck part back. You can reach for your left sitting bone. And it really isn't quite there, is it? For me, it's like, it ends, that's the attachment point. But where I'm tight is more below the butt, kind of like butt to sitting bone. And I want to manually, I'm pulling that sits bone back. And then that liberates the lower lumbar, helps that vertebra. So I have like a bulging disc there, and it sends the disc into the right place when I do that, which is pretty cool. So my back now is long. Elena, it's interesting, you're more rounded on this side. You can take the bottom of the chest forward. And, feeling is probably good. And then you're going to lift off that back leg. I'm shifting it forward a bit. Rotate your torso and fold over the left leg. Drop your head. You can use your block, put it on the inside of your left foot, right hand on it. You're going to strum that left arm. Either you can go straight back or right on up to the sky.
that right hip is going to want to collapse. See if you can turn it, kind of counter twist so that it stays forward. And that the spiral happens not because this hip collapsed, because the tighter parts of the back are giving way. We hope. Right shoulder blade, good, Taylor, right shoulder blade. Tiny, yes. Good. Pivot. I'm bringing my block with me for fun. Lining up my feet, facing the long right edge of the mat. Lifting the chest and chest forward, butt back. Knees are a little bent here too, just to play with that twerking, right? So I'm just, go ahead and lift your heels and just see if you can, I mean, I am not able to do it, but you might be able to bounce the butt a little bit here. So I'm just bouncing on my toes a little. These are bent, just trying to get a little activation in that butt lower back. I get nothing, but still trying. Heels go down. So this is, I'm trying to get a little of that bounce. Like that. Good. And then head goes down. Let it hang and bend each knee. So bend one and then the other. And we're doing a little subtle smiling with the hips here. So a little bit of a hip hop, a hip lift. Hip lift. You go side to side. Getting into that side glute. And when you're ready, just let it hang. Let the head hang down. Whatever you've been carrying, I didn't even know. I feel it right now. Just this whole, whatever backpack of stress was on my back is just falling off right now. Didn't even know it was there. There was. Okay, now I'm going to come up a little bit, put my block on the front left side of my mat, turn my left foot and align my left heel and right arch. I have the block up high, have it in line with my left ankle now, and I'm going to make my way. I'm going to strum my right arm up my body, flick the wrist up toward the sky, coming into triangle. Left knee is forward. Now the butt may, it's a weird way to come into it, or we're less familiar. See if you can just let the, if you're the hip opener that it is, let that right hip start to rotate open. Let the ribcage drop. And then the left shoulder blade finds its way onto the back. Can you take your head back just a tiny bit? Soften, yes, there it is, there it is. And then take that top arm over the ear. Beautiful. Reach it. Beautiful. Around. Right hand comes down. Pivot. Move the block out of the way. Step 2. Plank. Hold. Pulse forward and back. Hold over your wrists. Bend the elbows to chaturanga. Roll to an upward dog. Enjoy it. Chin up high. And roll over those toes. Down dog. Look forward, bend the knees. Jump or walk your feet to the outer edges of the mat and squat to a malasana. Pull the tummy in and lift the, think of the spine as having a front. We always think of it from the back. Lift the front of the spine. Lift the breastbone. Melt the shoulder blades. Place the hands down. Option to lift up or not. Knees maybe hike into the armpits, or maybe they grip around the outer arms. Leaning forward, we begin to lift the toes or not, or maybe 1 foot at a time off the mat. Taking a nice journey up toward crow. Option. Or just option to be entertained by our animals. Beautiful straight spine, beautiful. And come on down. Bring your hands behind you. Sit on your tush. Lift to the left edge of the mat. And you're going to take your left arm, twist into a twist. You're going to bring that elbow to the outer right leg. And then both hands are on the floor in a wide push-up position on the right edge of the mat. From here, you're going to lift your feet up and bring your chin toward the floor. So it's a really deep twist. Chin toward the floor, feet up. Exactly, Taylor. Yep, exactly. Exactamundo. Good. Swivel back to the start. Feet stay on the floor this time. Feet on the floor. Both hands down. Just lift your butt and down. So swivel, you'll feel your left arm like a shelf. So just the butt this and back down. Good. Do that again, or you can lift it up and bring both feet up, balancing on that arm. That's crazy. I also cheated today. I used my right elbow into my right waist because I did. Yeah, it's a cheat a little bit. You can do it with it. I mean, it is a cheat. You can do it without that elbow too. And then come on down and hold the front of the shins and lift your feet up. Pull your chest toward your legs and reach your arms forward. Just hold. It's straighten the legs for sure, if you want. Push one at a time, pedal the legs out in front of you. Let me pull in. If you're holding little maracas, you can kind of shake your maracas left and right. Making my hands are in fists, and I'm shaking my maracas. And that activates, you can feel it, the rectus abdominis differently. And then come on to the center. Shift your hips over to the right. If that bugged your back, use a block this time between the legs. We're going to take that right arm, cross it outside the left leg. Hands in a push-up position. Shin comes down, feet come up. And then push it back up. Chin down, feet up. And if it's too big a twist with the arm outside the leg, don't do that. You totally don't have to. You could just have that elbow free, kind of fake it. It's all good in the gut. And then back to center. This time, hands come down, butt swivels up. But the feet are on the floor. Feet stay on the floor. Butt comes up and down. Butt comes up, down. And the last option is butt and feet. If you choose to pursue that, arm comes outside the leg, hands a little narrower, and not cheating on the side, and the feet come up. And bring it down. Oh. Side, side crow, fun pose. All right, come on down. Actually, feet are flat, hands are forward, and we're gonna carefully roll down the spine. And then we're gonna take this right into an inversion. So if you know you don't want to come into an inversion without a prop, grab your block again, or bring your knees, well, both, bring your knees into your chest and take your feet behind you. Walk your shoulders
and the elbows in. So they come as close as they can toward each other, and then lift to a shoulder stand. Or come down onto that block. Last one in summer, here it is. And rest your sacrum, that plate at the top of the buttocks, on the block for a more restorative, somewhat calmer version. From wherever you are, lower your feet in front of you. If you'd like to, leave your block there for a supported bridge, or don't use the block and come into bridge, shoulder bridge, using your shoulders, interlacing your fingers. Or if that's too much pressure on any joint, you can hold the mat instead. Make sure your toes are pointed forward and that the big toe has a lot of power. So we want to push that ball mound of the big toe into the floor and raise the buttocks as high as we can. Knees extending forward, heart back, raising your drawbridge even higher. I hope you can feel your back legs working. If not, isometrically try pulling your heels toward your glutes, or perhaps pressing them away. One or the other will activate the back leg, backs of your legs. Then let your shoulders widen and slow descent here. Really slow, not shocking the nervous system. Tailbone rocking forward. And tucking under. Let this turn into a bigger arc. Tailbone rocks forward, more of the back arches. And a slow roll as the back imprints. Tailbone rocks forward. Maybe the middle, sort of above the bra strap, even comes off the floor. And down slowly. This next one, pelvis rocks forward. Upper back perhaps lifts off the floor. And your buttocks follow. Maybe narrow the arms in. If you prefer, take the hands back and come into a full wheel. Unburden here, really letting the protection of the heart step aside for a moment. Bodyguards of the heart, and just let the heart open. Nice strong glutes are holding you up. There's power here. Then allow the hands to release if you're in a shoulder bridge, or carefully tuck the chin to come down if you're in wheel. Make your way down softly, slow landing slowly. Bring your feet in front of you a little further, widen them to the width of the mat. Windshield right the knees left and right, and take your time. Stretch the arms overhead. There's an elasticy, gummy feeling to this movement. the knees fall right, place the right heel on the upper left knee if it doesn't cause you pain. And stretch away from the legs. Remove that heel and slowly come to center. Knees drop to the left. Perhaps add that left heel on the upper right knee, only if it doesn't hurt. And stretch diagonally away from the knees, which means toward the right. And then back to the middle. Soles of the feet come together in a butterfly, Supta Konasana. Interlace the fingers and stretch the palms back. Tuck the tail so that the lower back imprints here. And you'll find perhaps you need to wriggle your ribs back more. Switch the lacing of the fingers, press the palms back. If you're blessed with open shoulders, maybe your arms are on the floor. Mine are not at all. And then fan the arms out, snow angel them down, arranging your shoulder blades comfortably on the back. And whatever, if you need to rearrange clothing or grab a prop, you have something for your eyes, maybe under your head, under your calves or hamstrings or feet, maybe a weighted blanket. Place your hands on your body for a moment, just feeling the soft beat of the heart. And stretch your legs out in front of you you're coming at it a nice diagonal, easy for your body, no strain. Relaxing for the back, roll the legs in and out. Let your arms straighten out, roll those in and out. Take a deep breath in through your nose. Open the mouth and sigh it out. Inhale deeply. And exhale. Inhale. Ah. Let your body fall back. Release all the stress you're carrying. Let go. Let's take another deep breath. And if there was anything else that just felt really stuck or like it's not yours, let it go too. Permission to really let go. What would it be like as we return back into our body? We could keep this sense of unguarded openness. I don't know. An experiment. Take a deep breath here. Stretch and yawn. Take your time. Keeping the nervous system really in a safe space. In the temple of your body. The house of your spirit. Bending the left knee, you're going to roll to your right and return to the fetal embryonic shape that we began our life in. Breathe into your back. Perhaps some of our body or some of our awareness remembers this little pod, this little seed of potential, full of energy, full of life. Remind yourselves of that energy, your potency, powerful little seed, embryonic shape. And pushing down into the earth. And that little hit of energy, we rise up to a seat and prop up if you like. Nice. Spine is supported and tall. Chest is open and perhaps less guarded. Perhaps with the alignment and the power of our body, we will feel more free to feel, to express, to reveal, to see others do the same. Reach the arms up. Spreading the hands, bring them to the heart. Whatever longing, whatever prayers, longing to be heard, let that come through. One Om, inhale. Oh. Thumbs to forehead, bringing it to our own attention. Bowing to the practice, to one another, to the holiness within, and holiness all around. Thank you so much. Blessings, you guys. Thank you. Love you.
And I'll see you soon.